Alright, so today we're at our favorite place. We are at Canal State Forest. You know, just finished the tax season, getting our hunting set up.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet.
Cameron, tell them what we're doing.
Alright, so if you haven't heard, which you should have by now, we're doing a Mothman Archery Challenge. We're doing it in conjunction with the Huntington Archery Club. You saw our mini tack there. We're doing one ourselves. We liked it. We loved it so much. We talked with the people there. So
we're hosting one.
We're going to host one.
Yep.
So, super nice course. We're going to help them set up on Saturday. It's going to be 25 to 30 targets.
What day?
August 31st.
All right, what times?
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Last archer has to be on the course by 2 p.m.
By 2 p.m. So if you find yourself in the Huntington area on August 31st, or if you're nearby, come shoot with us.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. You'll see me, you'll see John, you'll see Logan. We'll have some merch there.
Yep.
As well as there's going to be a grand prize. Ooh. We're going to kind of do like a sort of caribou shot, 95 yards just inside the 10 ring.
Yep.
$5 per entry. Anybody who gets the 10 ring, we put you into a hat, just like we do the truck, and then we'll draw a name, and winner gets the entire prize.
Even though we're kind of copying the Total Archery Challenge, it's more of a local scale, we're not entirely copying them. So we have our own version. We're calling it the Mothman Archery Challenge. This is our first year, like Cameron said. We hope to do this so many more times. The people there are great. It was great last time we were there, and we're hoping a lot more people come out this time. All the money, the entry fee. Did you say it's $25?
I only talked about the entry fee.
Entry fee is $25 for the course for the whole event. If you want to take a shot at the 95-yard target, which we don't know what animal it's going to be yet, like Cameron was saying, that's its whole other separate thing. You don't have to do that. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, it'll be a blast.
I'm excited for it. But on to the real reason why you clicked on this video. Cameron, take it away.
All right, so I'm going to talk about the Darkhorse of Easton's lineup this year.
Why you call it the Darkhorse?
Because I think the 5.0 is going to overshadow it when it shouldn't.
Maybe the axe is still too a little bit?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But definitely the 5.0 this year. This year, the Easton 5.0 has kind of been the
ace in the hole.
Yeah, it kind of been like Easton's big thing.
Okay.
But they're kind of overlooking the FMJ Max. This arrow, I think, is going to bridge the gap between a super heavy arrow and maybe something like the 5.0 and the Axis.
Okay.
So this gives you the durability with the aluminum outer ring.
No shell.
Yeah. But also the lightweightness of the carbon. Okay. So this arrow I have set up, remind you, these are cut a little bit shorter. These are 27 inches. They weigh at about 463 grains, fletched, everything with 100 grain in the front.
So that's total.
That's total weight.
Okay.
If I take the 100 grain out, these things come out 360.
Okay.
My RIP TKOs, for example, are about 430. However, my Easton 5.0s were right around 400.
Yeah. But what are you losing with the 5.0?
Durability.
Yeah.
So, add a little bit of weight, you get a really, really durable arrow.
It's a good arrow.
In the FMJ Max.
It's a good arrow, yeah.
And I think people are so focused on the speed of the 5.0, which don't get me wrong, that's fantastic.
Ferrari. Yeah.
That they're missing the F-150 with the 5.0 motor.
Yeah.
Something that can hit hard, but still keep on going.
Yeah. Have you hit anything other than a target with the FMJ Max yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have missed, and these.
What about this one specifically?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Looks like your veins have seen a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It went through the target and kept going and ended up in the ground.
So they are durable. It's a very durable arrow.
Yeah. And something to think about, too, is like when you're going hunting, yes, 100%, like speed matters. But for us, if I hit a shoulder, I don't have to worry about this arrow not going through.
Right.
I can almost guarantee you with this weight, with my poundage, I can punch through that shoulder if I hit it. Does that mean I'm going to aim for the shoulder? No. But I'm not worried about bone.
Things happen.
Or contact with this kind of arrow. Now, the con to this is, since it is have that aluminum jacket, it does bend. Like, don't get me wrong, you don't have the flexibility of carbon, but you have the durability of aluminum.
Right.
For me personally, it's going to be It's going to be a toss-up this year between the RIP and the Easton.
As far as your deer arrow?
Yeah. And the only reason I say that is because for a shorter stature individual, I'd say 28 inches and below, that extra weight can kind of hinder you a little bit at distance.
As far as just overall
flight
speed or FOC
flight characteristics, FOC as well. However, like with the rip, it's kind of a sweet spot for me right now.
Okay.
I'm still going to work on getting these down a little bit in weight, figuring out the best way to do that. Even if that means I have to go to like a podium titanium insert.
Okay.
To keep the durability. But with these, I'm sitting at about 430, and I can still take some off of this. But I keep the durability a half out with the flexibility of carbon.
Sorry for drinking water on camera, by the way. That's probably pretty rude, but we've been out here for a good minute and I'm hot.
Yeah, but like the FMJ Max for anybody going out west hunting, elk hunting, bear hunting, even whitetail, you may have that little bit of a longer draw. This is a fantastic, and I think people need to
try it. Yeah.
They make a fantastic arrow out there at Easton, and the FMJ Max this year, since they lightened it, because I have the FMJs at the house, they're sitting at about 400 grains coming out the package.
Right.
So these,
that is true.
I think these are going to be a fantastic arrow this year. I think these are going to be overlooked for the better part of this year. I definitely think come elk season, you're going to see a few of these get picked up.
It's kind of got a little bit of a nostalgia to it, kind of a little bit off topic, but like it's got that colorway that kind of reminds you of the old solid aluminum arrows from back in the day, which is pretty cool. But yeah, like you said, it's got that, that carbon sleeve on the inside, that insert.
Yeah. And these come out the package. These are 300 grains. They come at 10.3 GPI.
Okay. What's your rib TKO at?
I think 9. They may not say on there.
Yeah, I can't see it.
I think those come at 9, but I know the 5.0s, like these are, this is a set of match grades that we broke.
Is that 8 something?
Yeah, these are like 8.9 GPI.
Yeah, something like that.
However,
and then Ultra,
you can't.
I'm rolling Ultra. Ultra's weighing 9.06, and this is the 003.
Yeah, and that's a 430 grains as well.
Yeah.
So, like, don't sleep on the FMJ Max.
No, not at all.
Definitely, if you're thinking about you need a little bit more weight, the FMJ Max would be a fantastic arrow for you to pick up.
Honestly, in my personal opinion, I would tell, if someone was looking to get new arrows, like they're like, hey, the HLR, the Ultra Premier, the FMJ Max, the Easton 5.0, where should I go? I would say, honestly, I would start with the FMJ Max.
Yeah.
And work your way up from there.
Yeah.
And that's God's honest truth. If someone was getting brand new into archery,
especially for hunting.
Yeah, and those arrows were on the table, I would say, give the FMJ Max a try.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. Like Cameron said, it is a little bit heavier.
Yep.
But that's why you account for that on your sight tape. But if there's certain people who are looking for certain things, Cameron is looking for certain things with his arrow. I'm looking for certain things with my arrows. Everyone is different. One of the things we like to say a lot is there's a million ways to handle a situation, which means someone is going to tell you something, hardly none of it is based on facts.
Don't take their word as gospel.
Everything is opinionated, and to be quite honest with you, a lot of the times take what someone says with a grain of salt, because I always used to use this saying when I was in the Navy: everything is written in mud and it's raining, which means any given day what someone said a week ago could be completely different the following week. And that's just how a lot of this stuff is, and it's the same way in the gun community too. When law enforcement, when we were doing stuff with rifles, you have one cool setup a week, and then 2 weeks later it's like, that's outdated, dude. Yep. You gotta upgrade. So like we've always said, do what's best for you. Like Cameron said, do not sleep on that arrow. That is a fantastic
If you have the time and you want to give something a try, you're trying something new for hunting season, definitely pick up a set of FMJ Max. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Yeah. And we're not sponsored by Easton. I know you see a lot of Easton stuff in our studio. There's a RIP TKO on this table, there's an Ultra on this table, there's a 5.0 on this table, and there's a Full Metal Jacket on this table.
I shot HLR in Pennsylvania.
We shoot everything because we want to shoot everything to figure out what is best suited for our styles, our shot, our bows, our strings, our sights, everything. So we don't leave any stone unturned as far as figuring out what arrow is going to be best for us. Before
I come to you with this setup, I have gone through 4 different sight tapes, 4 different configuration of vanes, different weights, different lengths, half out hit insert, different weight up front to see the FOC, different changes. When I tinker, I go all in and I figure out if I can use it, if it can make it work. Like I said, the only negative to this arrow that I have currently is when I get past 60 yards, for me, I think the weight is just a little too much for my current setup and the way that I shoot.
Okay.
I think for me personally, I need to be below that 450 mark for my overall weight of an arrow.
To keep your speed to match your sight tape.
To keep my happy medium. And
okay. All right.
Keep durability, keep weight, keep flight characteristics, and not have to worry about it.
Gotcha. Understood.
But you get someone like Josh Bomar, dude's running around with a 600 grain arrow.
It's a big dude.
Yeah, it's a big dude.
Yeah.
That 90 pound helps.
Yeah. Logan's a big dude.
Yeah.
Logan has a heavy arrow. What's his 5.0? His 5.0 is 500 and some grain?
I think it's right at 500.
Yeah, so he's a 500 grain arrow. Logan is a 500 grain arrow, which, by the way, Logan is not with us today. Logan is working. He's on the road. So if you see this, thanks, Logan, for what you're doing out there. I just made it sound like he's out there fighting a war.
I mean, he's probably fighting a bee right now.
Yeah, he's probably out there boxing a bee. Sorry, Logan. But anyway, yeah, that's Logan's a big dude. That's a heavy arrow.
And that's why I said at the beginning, people 28 inches and below, while it's still fantastic for whitetail, if you're an elk hunter or if you are an antelope hunter and you have to get some range, I would lean probably to a 5.0 or a rip TKO.
And let me say this. I said it the other day on our last video, you have to practice. No matter what you're shooting, ultra, Easton, rip, big, whatever, it doesn't matter. You have to practice. If you're not practicing, you're doing yourself a disservice. Now, there are some guys out there that can just pick up a bow come September, go out there and slay a monster. Yeah. Is there a lot of them? I don't know. Maybe. But if you're not practicing, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not going to be as prepared as you can be. And the other part of it too, which is really out of anyone's control, you could have a Matthews, you could have the nicest Hoyt, you could have the nicest Bowtech, you could have the greatest arrows, you could have all this Gucci equipment. If the deer don't show up, none of it matters. So there's a lot that goes into this. It's not just arrow selection, it's not just bow selection, it's putting in the work, finding where the animals are, perfecting your craft all the way around.
As Elk Shape says, separations and appropriation.
Yeah.
Every time we come to you guys with equipment or what we use, no one's giving it to us.
We've bought it.
We've bought it. I have tested it. We have ran through it. We have ran through scenarios.
We have destroyed it.
We have blown up more arrows than I can count on one hand, and that's just because, one, we still suck at archery. Two, we're always improving, and three, nothing's ever perfect. So you just have to continue to strive for perfection.
Yep.
And then when you get there, you're still not perfect.
Yeah. I agree. Cam, you got anything else for him?
Nope. Darkhorse of the Easton lineup this year, I really suspect it's going to be the FMJ Max. Don't sleep on it. If you have the ability, pick a setup, try it, see if it works for your setup, but I guarantee you won't be disappointed in the performance.
Very durable arrow. Very durable. It holds up really well.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
See you guys.